it's Lala, and it's February Black History Month, and I feel the need to post something about Africa every day. I've studied Pan Africana Studies for about 6.5 years now. I've been a Pan Africana specialist when I interned for the Katrina Leadership Project back in 2007. So I don't deem myself that title, but I do have a passion for it. Pan means all, so I study all countries' relationship to Africa, whether it's economical, whether or not it's humanitarian, whether or not it's ethical and unethical, such as trade, import, exports, whether it's concerning imports and exports. So I think I have a little bit of validity here. Day one, I want to address with you all the original name of Africa. Africa's original name is Alkebulan. When the Romans defeated the Cleopatra dynasty after she married Mark, a lot of things changed. A lot of things that were original were stolen from us, and other cultures began to use them. Perfect example, we had the first university called Karnak. In the Bible, even Jesus said that that's where he studied. He studied with the Egyptians. But that's neither here nor there. Um, so Alkebulan is the original name of Africa. But then let's ask ourselves a question. What do we call ourselves? Are we Alkebulanians? Are we Alkebulans? Alkebulans? Um, are we Africans? Are we African Americans? And I have something for everybody to think about with saying that. We're from Alkebulan, but they changed it to Africa. So then we started to identify ourselves with Africans because of the colonization and because of the established the ability to establish continents and so forth. Not to mention dialect and slavery. But are we really African American is the real question. The reason why I ask this is because when you really think about it, first off, we're the only country that makes us check off a race. I check other. I'm clear. I'm a human being. I'm not black. I'm not an adjective. I'm not a nigga because I'm not ignorant. I might be a Negra, but then that goes into 1619 as far as when the word was created, when we were slaves to the Spanish. Just like they didn't know what to call Ethiopians, and they called them Ethiopians because it meant land of the burnt faces. But to get to my point, my only point with this is I'm not African American either. Hold up, let me explain why. First off, I was born in America. Now, most of us were, pretty much all of us. But when you look at it, when you check it and it says we're African American, no, we're not. African Americans are those that live in Africa that willingly come over here, denounce their citizenship, and renounce their citizenship here, then they're African American. It's the same thing with Hispanic American or Asian American or Latino American. They like to say we're the minority in the world, but we're the majority in the world. And we'll get to that further along with this series of Black History Month facts that you won't read in books. Um, and not even just to really like say all of that. It's kind of crazy because we get caught up with the N word, but we really don't know what to call ourselves. We've been through centuries of calling ourselves mulattoes, Negra, Negro, Negra, nigga, nigger, black. No, those are not the right terminologies. And trust me, there's plenty more where that came from. But what do we really call ourselves? Last case in point. If we're not El Kebulans or we're not Africans or African Americans and all that other stuff, ask yourself this. Once I met a guy. He was Caucasian. He came over here and went to a job interview. And when he walked into the room, the man said, "You're not African American. You're white." He said, "No, I'm not. I am African American." They had a 5-minute argument. And it was so pathetic because when I heard this man speak about it, he said that no, I am African American. I was born in Africa and I came over here for an education. I got married. That therefore it makes me African American. How many of us did the same thing? For the Africans, that's your terminology. For people who live here, what do you really call ourselves? Or is it even really that serious to even take it that far as what do we call ourselves? Um, so that's why I asked, well, then what do you call us? It's very interesting. White people colonize. They claim that European, Dutch, Portuguese, Turkish. As long as you're here, you just check white, right? If you're white, it's all right. But then when it gets to the minorities, you make us be separate. Why? Because minorities actually make up the majority in the world. And to be technically correct, African Alkebulans make up the majority of the world. Who's the minority now? Sharpen your eye and tune your ears so you'll know what you see and understand what you hear. That's all I have to say. And that's Listerville.